We are living in interesting times. We are all involved in the field of people development, skills training. Whatever happens in 4IR affects all of us in our work, but also as customers and clients of other services. We are engaging and have to engage with 4IR. And so in this forum, it is quite relevant for us to have this discussion and to see how we bring these factors in to our respective organizations, and at the same time are able to facilitate through our work, facilitate growth and the development of our clients to enable them as well to be more effective with their own transitioning through the work that we do. So in my presentation today, we will speak on the 4IR landscape. What is the 4IR landscape? Rather quickly. Then we'll talk about the challenges. What are the challenges for business leaders and managers? And what are key strategies for addressing these challenges? And then we will look at the digital offerings that are offered by iFundi. So 4IR, which is Fourth Industrial Revolution, is a fusion of advances in several digital skill sets and products: artificial intelligence, robotics and robotic process automation, IoT, Internet of Things, cloud computing, quantum computing, etc. Many of us have heard of these new tools that are out in business, but more importantly, the integration of these things is what makes service provision and products that we use rather interesting. So we will find, as a customer to services now, with the onset of these new higher level tools, you find that in engaging a particular service platform, several of these tools are integrated in the way in which you experience 4IR services with those organizations that are already bringing them to the fore. So artificial intelligence, blockchain, faster computing, virtual reality, 3D printing, biotechnology, these are all the things that we are engaging with. And so the impact on business actually is that we are seeing that customer experience is transformed. For example, you don't now have to go to the bank to withdraw cash. And as a matter of fact, you don't even have to use physical hard currency. Everything is digital. Recently, I was at a till and I was making my payment using my phone, and somebody came and used his watch to make his payment at the till. So these are quite interesting times. Then also, I said the connectedness of experiences across virtual platforms and physical locations. And as a result, also, businesses are collecting large or high volume of data. We're having data farms all over the world where lots of data is being collected. And with this data has to be assessed, managed, and enable organizations to determine what does Joel Perry particularly like in this particular environment, so that they can market to me what I need and be able to determine not only what I need in one instance, but because of my age and where I live, my demographics, my psychographics, and so forth, be able to determine the kind of services that should be offered to me. So in other words, a lot of our data as consumers is being collected somewhere, and this now raises the question of data privacy and data security. So we're now entering a new landscape in business where digital platforms is introducing new skill sets. We as customers are having new experiences on the way we engage services. And as a result, questions on data privacy, the ethics of how we do business, and the ethics around the use of our data all comes into effect. So the future of business, the way we look at it right now, is profoundly going to be driven by artificial intelligence. And that means insofar as the job market is concerned, we will see the disappearance of unskilled and semi-skilled jobs, and new jobs will be created and are being created as we speak on a daily basis. So we're in a transition, and this transitional period in terms of the world of work that we are facing now will continue and accelerate. Now, having said all of this, there are certain challenges that are implied in what we have said. There are challenges for business leaders. Then there are challenges for you as HR managers. There are challenges for us as training professionals, and obviously within the operations of an organization. So in my brief view this morning, we want to look at some of these challenges and what are the key strategies we can employ so to manage these challenges so that we can be proactive and we can ride the waves in this new era quite with confidence, so to speak. So let's look at challenges for business leaders. One of the challenges business leaders face is strategic uncertainty. And obviously, this is a period of change. A business leader is not sure how these particular tools will impact upon your particular industry. And what will that mean for the financial investment that is required of you in order to adopt these particular new tools and new methodologies of working. As a business leader, you want to improve effectiveness. You also want to improve efficiency. You also want to be able to be comparable in the marketplace with your competitors. You want to retain your customers. You want to give your customers a new experience, and you want to retain your customers. And so strategic uncertainty and the financial investment is the type of things that business leaders are grappling with currently. For HR managers, you obviously now need to look at that and look at what is needed in your own particular environment in terms of reskilling and upskilling the workforce, in terms of attracting the appropriate talent and retaining the people, because as people become more skilled themselves, as soon as somebody does a particular course, he becomes more marketable, you're likely for that person to be poached elsewhere. So now, if you have people within your organization who are keyed up with what's happening in the change in the marketplace, and they're taking courses and so on to upgrade themselves, you want to keep those people. So these are the challenges HR managers is facing at the moment. Then as a training manager, you want to ensure that you have developed effective training programs. Those of us, we in the industry, want to ensure that we are able to respond to the training needs of our clients. And and that's why the question of QCTO comes in as well, because QCTO have also done their research in terms of 4IR, and you would note that in the new qualifications that are there, they have actually covered several of the areas that are included in 4IR in these new qualifications, such as data science and cybersecurity and robotic process automation, machine learning, and so forth. And therefore, you also want to ensure that you have the competency to provide training with a reasonable measure of effectiveness, and you want to be able to determine the impact, measure the impact on your training. Within organizations, and this takes us back to the question of business leaders and training managers, you also have to deal from an operational point of view with a question of lack of expertise. And this is an area which now everybody is learning. Managers of themselves don't know. Everybody has to learn. The leader has to learn. Managers have to learn. IT, people with IT skills have to learn. And so the challenges you face is where organizations have siloed departments and one is not able to learn from the one department to the next. It actually puts you at a disadvantage. So there is a reference here with 63% of HR professionals report little or no collaboration with IT departments in their organization. And that is a concern because as an HR professional, you want to know what people in your IT department are saying, what their needs are, what are they seeing in the marketplace of the trends and what impact it can have on the business. So that you as an HR professional, you become have strategic value in terms of the visioning and the planning of your organization, your workforce planning. Will be much more appropriate and more relevant for your organization. Then finally, we have the challenges, obviously, within the broader competitive environment with the rapid technological advancements. And as a matter of fact, you will find, and we have noted that between last year and this year, when lots of these chat GPTs and other similar AI tools came out in the marketplace. Some came out in a couple of months, they disappeared because things are new. There will be changes. You have version 1, there'll be version 2, there'll be version 5, and so forth. There's rapid technological advancements, but more importantly, it makes the business environment more competitive. And hence, as leaders, one always have to be up to date with the trends in the marketplace. Things coming on the one hand, very expensive. Eventually, it becomes more cheaper. Better versions come into the marketplace, and it makes a bit of concern on where do you actually put your money, or what point do you enter in, so that you do not waste your investment. So having said all of these things, let's look at some strategies we can ride these waves more confidently. I would like to share with you in the time that we have 5 key strategies. Leading by example, we will look into that. We will talk about cross-functional collaboration. We will look at the development of a technology roadmap. We will talk about strategic change management, and then we will look at how we prioritize people and culture. We have noted that in order for a business to move in any direction, leadership is required. Informed leadership is required in these times, with commitment to take your organization into the future, given the current environment in which we have now been speaking. And so the leader must have a sense of vision of what digital transformation will mean for your business and for your organization. You need to know what that means for you. And you need to champion the change process within your organization. In order for that to happen, the leader must be somebody who is open to learning. You must be able to be informed of the changes that is currently within the marketplace. And that means you got to expose yourself to subject matter experts. You got to expose yourself to webinars, attend conferences, meet people, meet other business leaders, find out the trends that is happening within your industry and so forth, so that and what that will mean for your particular business. One, as an individual, does not know it all, but when you unite with others and you form a team, it is said, many sticks together is harder to break as it is with one stick. And hence, many brains put together is more powerful than the one brain. And so leadership is needed in order to pull together the type of skill sets and the people and the subject matter experts you will need, so that you will understand what's happening in your particular area and be able to guide your organization accordingly. The next thing is having cross-functional collaboration within your organization. And that is something we touched on just now. The reference here is that companies that prioritize cross-functional collaboration are 33% more likely to be high performers. That is from Harvard Business Review. The idea that these silos of working is not going to enable you to be effective in this current era. And as we said, you should not only know what's happening in the IT department, across departments. Let us create cross-functional collaboration. Come together as teams, and so that you can understand what does the new digital era mean for the business. Understand it in various aspects, not only from the IT point of view, from the HR point of view, from operational point of view, from the people development point of view. Let there be cross-engage and set up cross-functional collaborations, so that is a means of getting your people on board and getting them interested and inspiring them to do what's necessary to enable your organization to succeed. The next thing that is required is one has to develop a technology roadmap. And obviously that's very important, because if you're going to go into the future, what's the roadmap? All right. 82% of companies believe that digital transformation is crucial for their organization's survival. And that being the case, it is imperative to have a technology roadmap. What is that? It means you need to be able to determine, identify what are the key technologies is relevant for your business. That enables you to set up your roadmap. And in that roadmap, having identified the key technologies, you need to ensure that that technology is aligned with your organizational goals and with your workforce needs. You need to ensure that you need to determine what is the potential impact that will have on your talent acquisition. In other words, who are the people you need to bring on board? What type of upskilling is required? What do you need to do for retention? And then looking at the implication on data governance and security as well. And what are the implementation timelines you need to put in place so that you can get your organization up to speed. So that is your technology roadmap. The next thing is about strategic change management. Change management in this process is very important. If the leadership does not approach change appropriately to build trust, you will find resistance because people are concerned that they might lose their jobs. People are concerned that I am not so IT literate and so forth, and now I'm having to learn all of these new things. What will it mean for me? So open and transparent communication is crucial. It is very important. And you need to have open forums in which you engage with your people. Leadership must listen and listen to employee feedback and approach the change in a way that you build trust.